Hello everybody, this is Jeff. Welcome to our brief exercise. This is in Chapter 11, brief exercise 11-6. And this evening we'll be talking about the stockholders' equity section of Marigold Corporation. The problem reads, the stockholders' equity section of Marigold Corporation's balance sheet consists of common stock worth $7 par, equaling $959,000, and retained earnings of $410,000. A 10% stock dividend, equaling 13,700 shares, is declared when the market price per share is $18. We're supposed to solve for we're supposed to have two different answers here. Part A showing we need to show the before and after effects of the dividend on the components of the stockholders' equity. And then B, we need to show the before and after effects of the dividend on the shares outstanding. First of all, we need to pull down the correct entry here because this is the stockholders' equity that we're trying to title this with. So we need to pull that out of our menu. And secondly, we're going to be doing the calculation on the paid-in capital that Marigold Corporation put in. And then we'll start here again with common stock. And our common stock, as we can see here from the equation above, was $7 par, was $959,000, and that was their total output before the dividend was paid out in capital. And then paid in capital in excess of par value common stock before the dividend was paid out, of course, is zero. Now we want to be careful of this line when we pull up our pull this up from our menu, because in this equation they're paying out a 10% stock dividend, not a cash dividend. So that's important that we make sure that this is important that we understand that this is paid in capital in excess of par value common stock, not cash. And then secondly, in the fifth position here, we'll put total paid in capital. And again, before the dividend, we add these two together and we still end up with our $959,000. And then the next position here, we'll populate this area with retained earnings, and we can see that's over at this side of the problem here, which is $410,000. It's added to the capital investment, and then we end up with a total here of stockholders' equity of $1,369,000. To get the after dividend component, what we need to do is realize that if we take $959,000, divide this by 7, we'll end up with 137,000 shares outstanding. And we entered that figure here before dividend. So we know that there's 137,000 shares available. And then they're giving a dividend of an additional 10%, which 10% of 137,000 is this 13,700. So if we add 13,700 and this together, then we end up with our 1,054,900 shares here, or dollars, we multiply that times 7. So to be clear, we're taking 959,000 shares, divide that by 7, and we come up with 137,000 shares. We add our 13,700 shares to that, and then multiply that times 7 to come up with our total here of 154,900. And then paid in capital in excess of par common stock, we take the difference between the par value of $7 and the market price of $18, which is 11. And if we take that times the total amount of shares, which is 150,700, take that times 11, or the amount of shares that we bought here, the 13,700 shares, take that times 11, then we end up with 150,700 paid in capital in excess of per value common stock. We add those two together and we end up with 1,205,600, and then our retained earnings is reduced to 163,400, and again the total stockholders' equity when we're finished with the equation is 1,369,000. And of course we have our dividends before and after listed here below. I hope this helped. Again, probably one of the biggest things I want to point out is that again, we're dealing here with paid in capital in excess of par value common stock, not cash. So be careful when you populate that part of the menu. Thanks a lot.